And we are live.
Hello, hello.
Yes, good evening, everybody. Welcome to the live. Give it a few minutes here for some people to come on in and get settled. Doo-ba-doo.
The final day of November 2023.
Yes, it is. Time is flying. What's up, Joseph? All right, guys. So let's go ahead and get started. What's up, Sharon? Welcome to the stream. All right. So, two things to cover again tonight is the potential for some snow, maybe some mixing of snow and rain tomorrow morning into the afternoon. And then also covering the potential for the northern lights tonight across Michigan. So we're going to start like we did last night with our forecast for tomorrow, and it remains pretty much unchanged, but we did shift the rain snow line a little further north here. Going over the timing for this, again, looking at the NAM 3 model has a pretty good handle of what we think is going to happen. We see the rain start to move in here mid morning or early morning, should I say, by I'd say 7 a.m. We should start to see rain, primarily rain, start to fall across southern Michigan. And as we get into the day, the snow starts to mix in there towards the noon time frame and the late afternoon. We're probably going to see some snowflakes start to mix in. And then as we get into the afternoon and evening, that snow becomes a little bit heavier and kind of trains over the exact same areas. And by Saturday morning, this is Saturday at 7 a.m., it moves out of the area with only lingering showers, either rain or snow showers around. And then after that, it stays pretty much clear. We have another potential system coming in behind that, but we'll have to get to that later on a different date. So, timing tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. Expect rain changing over to snow. And that rain snow line has shifted. If you look at accumulations, the NAM3 is pretty much in line with our forecast here. Looking at accumulated totals here, looking at or going through the Saturday morning time frame, it has shifted north just around the Grand Rapids, north of Lansing, there up into the Flint area, all the way up toward Mount Pleasant. It's a pretty thin line here, and what should fall will be right around that 1 to 3 range inches of snow, with isolated spots getting 4 or 5 inches. Now, our forecast here, we did update that rain snow line, bumped it 2 counties or so north. And we have kept the 1 to 3 plus, with isolated amounts being higher than 1 to 3. And then south of that, rain. Now, if you live close to that white dotted line there, you may see a mix of rain and snow, maybe some sleet mixing in there, but it should primarily fall as a rain or rain snow mix if you're close to that line. So it can go either way if you're near that line. And then looking at our local areas here, we have the rain snow line going right just south of Grand Rapids from Holland to Lansing. So if you're in Holland over to Lansing and those areas around, it could go either way for you. But we think the majority of the snow is going to stay north of Grand Rapids and north of Lansing on the Grand Rapids map. And then looking at Detroit's area, we think it's going to stay mainly north of that Pontiac Brighton area towards Flint. Flint, you're going to be on the line. The Pier, you're on the line. And then north of there towards the Tri-Cities, Bay City, Saginaw, Midland, Port Austin, Sandusky, Mayville, you guys should be primarily um, a dominant snow type of system for you guys up there. Now, again, accumulations there 1 to 3 plus is possible. I don't think it'll be a little bit. I don't think we're going to exceed 5 or 6 inches in spots. I think it's going to be top end 5 inches, but otherwise, most of you guys will fall between that 1 to 3 range. Then this shouldn't accumulate on roads too much because we had really warm temperatures today. So we probably will see slushy accumulation, especially as we get toward the evening hours and when we lose the um, what do you call it, Joel? Solar installation or something like that, or
Daytime heating, yeah.
yeah, something. The sun goes down, the snow technically sticks a little bit better, so we could see some slushy accumulations on the roads, especially side roads. But because the ground was so warm today, we don't expect it to accumulate much on pavement, but more so on the grass and elevated surfaces. All right, that covers the snow system there. So if you guys have questions about that, drop them in chat. And then going very quickly over the Northern Lights, we do have impact from a energy. We call it a CME. We do have impact just about an hour or about 45 minutes ago. It doesn't appear to be too terribly strong, but still data does look pretty good. So give it another 60 to 120, about 1 to 2 hours. I would definitely say for those of you who have clear skies, take a look to your north and see if you can see anything. I don't think this is the big CME or the big storm we're supposed to be getting that was forecasted tonight. I don't see this data causing that type of level of storm, but it could still spark some Aurora activity if you are in northern Michigan, north of, we'll say Lansing, but mainly north of Mount Pleasant tonight. I would say has a shot at seeing it if this data can sustain. Again, we're still watching the data. We'll update on the page here if anything changes. But for right now, it impacted 45 minutes ago. It'll take a little bit of time to build to a storm level. So give about 1 to 2 hours and see how we're looking. We'll post updates to the page for those interested. So with that being said, I'll take any questions. And as far as satellite goes for viewing the Aurora, really quickly, go ahead and look at the localized sector here for Michigan. We're seeing mainly just it's a pretty thick band, but it's also thin in comparison to the state that stretches from the thumb all the way back toward Grand Rapids. Other areas look to be clear. And then if we look up into the UP, we do have some clouds up there. It's sporadic, but the south side of the UP does remain clear for now. Then we also have some clouds up in the tip of the mitten there as well. So viewing wise, it looks okay in spots, but also behind this, I don't see much in the way of clouds behind this yet. So we'll see if that works through. So right now, viewing is optimal, and we're probably going to work into clouds later on in the evening as that system approaches from the south. All right, with that being said, guys, I'll flip back over here to the forecasted accumulation and rain snow line, and I'll head to the comments for some questions.
I'm checking SKUTs right now for daytime temperatures tomorrow.
Okay.
To see how cold and how far up it gets. Because it looks like the first 2 kilometers of the atmosphere tomorrow are going to be right on that freezing line. So,
right. So, do you, being a thermodynamic expert over here, Joel, do you see potential for any type of freezing rain?
let me see if I can find a sounding that would indicate freezing rain. But because it's a gradual change in temperature with height, I don't see the biggest threat for freezing rain tomorrow. I'm going to see if I can find a photograph maybe. If anything, it'd probably be at the beginning of the day or the end of the day when the temperature is, fluctuating the most. But it looks like it's going to be 32 pretty much all day if you live north of 96 across the entire state. I don't even think it'll get above freezing if you are even further north than that.
Okay, so
But
it should be pretty.
Just give me a second to see if I can find a photograph.
Yeah, go for it. So, Oakland County, you guys are. I'm going to primarily say you guys are going to be rain. I don't see the rain snow line shifting any further south for you guys in Oakland County there. How much snow are we expecting in Oakland County? I don't expect much in the way of accumulation. If it's gonna snow at all, it probably will be a mixing with rain. So not expecting much accumulation there at all. What time do you think for the Northern Lights this evening? Now that's a really good question, but it really can't be answered. Looking at data right now, though, it does appear that we have really good data, but we gotta let it build. Because this satellite you're looking at on your screen here, we see some impacts over here. It's hard to make out, but we see some impacts, these squiggly lines. It indicates that we have some pretty good data here, but we have to let it build. So the data from this satellite takes 60 minutes to get to Earth. After that, allow 1 to 2 hours. So I'd say 2 hours or so. If this data sustains, we should be talking storm level Aurora G1, maybe G2 if we can sustain this for a longer period of time. I'd say 9 p.m. start paying attention to our page. We'll get live sightings posted so you guys know when it's occurring in Michigan. And also follow the Michigan Aurora Watcher page. We partner with them, and we will be posting updates over there as well. So you can follow both of us. We'll be sharing stuff intermittently throughout the evening. Traveling from Saginaw to Traverse City Saturday mid-morning, hoping for a safe trip. Yeah, you'll be good up there. What is Lansing and Howell looking like tomorrow? Lansing, Howell looking like mainly a rain right on the line there between rain and snow, but I'm going to primarily say rain for you guys. All right, let's see here. Ottawa County there, Jonathan. Yeah, I'd say you guys are right there on that rain snow line again. It could go either way. I would expect maybe a couple inches of accumulation, nothing significant, but don't be surprised if it falls as rain though as well. You're kind of right on that rain snow line. It could go either way for you. All right, let's see here.
Ryan, do you mind if I? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was going to cover Clinton County really quick. You guys are right above that rain snow line in the snow area. Again, you're right in that line area that could go either way, but right now we are predicting 1 to 3 inches of accumulation for you there in Clinton County. Go ahead, Joel.
Okay, so do you mind if I take the screen?
Go for it.
Okay, let me figure it out really quick. Share screen. Oh, which one is it? This one. Yeah, okay. So, can we see it?
Yep.
Okay, so this is our sounding for tomorrow. I picked it around morning time, just in Lansing because it's kind of right on that border there. So this is so if you look at the left, this is a skew T. It shows us a horizontal clip of the atmosphere as you go up in height. And that red line is your temperature, and the green is the dew point. That really doesn't matter. The dew point doesn't really matter as much tomorrow, other than the fact that we know it's going to be very saturated, very far up in the atmosphere, as you can see with the red and the green line close together. This, I don't know if my mouse is hovering over it or not, but this dashed blue line, this aqua line, is the 32 degree or freezing line. And as you can see, that temperature line follows that all the way up to the 2 kilometer portion or 2 kilometer height in the atmosphere, meaning that our temperature is 32 degrees without any warm nose sticking out tomorrow, which is why tomorrow is not going to have much of a chance for freezing rain or sleet or any of that, because as you can see, there's no warm nose here. If there's a warm nose, you would have a red line that kind of sticks out to the right. But again, it's flat all the way through, and then eventually it cools down once you get to about 3 kilometers up in the atmosphere. The reason for this is, let me see if I can switch over to my other COD product here. Stop screen. Sorry. Share screen. Wrong one. There we go. So our winds tomorrow are out of the east. And this time of the year, when you have winds coming out of the east or even northeast, up in Canada where they've only had probably 5 hours of sunlight a day, even further north, 0 hours of sunlight a day. But a lot of our cold air right now is getting evicted from the east coast, so offshore of I think it's New Brunswick, right? Just up there in eastern Canada. That's all cold air coming in, so you don't have any warm air advection with this storm tomorrow, with us being on the northern side of this low that's passing by. So again, that's why we don't have a warm nose on our sounding tomorrow, and that's why we won't see much in the way of freezing rain or sleet or any of that funky stuff you call grapple. So just kind of a cool scientific breakdown for you guys. When the cutoff is going to be very sharp, so snow, rain, it could vary. I would definitely say there's a gray zone for where the freezing line stops and starts. So we'll continue to watch that as the day unfolds tomorrow. So
yeah, I want to go ahead and take my screen back there. I want to show this really quickly for people on that rain snow line. Look how sharp these cutoffs are. For example, we go up here towards Lansing. We have 1.5 inches accumulating of snow here in Lansing, if not just a little bit north of Lansing. But we go 1 county north and it boom, 3 inches, 4.4, 5 in spots. So the cutoff is only, I'd say, a 5 to 10 mile range. So if that shifts, if this storm shifts a county south, that's like a 30-mile range. That's a pretty good population there, especially in Ingham County. So it's just going to depend where that rain snow line sets up. And I can't stress that enough because I know people are going to be messaging the page. Well, you had us in 1 to 3. Well, you're so close to that rain snow line, and we have such a sharp gradient of temperatures that it could go either way for you. You know, these systems can't really be precisely pinpointed to a T. So if you guys if you're close to that line, you end up the opposite of what we forecasted. That is completely normal in winter and is to be expected. We can't get it right 100% of the time. It's just impossible. Nobody can. But yeah, just want to point that out as well. All right, back to chat for questions. Heaviest snowfall rates would be in northeast Ionia County and northern Ingham County, trying to figure out a chase plan to find heaviest bands of snow. Um,
That's definitely in the gray zone.
if we look on just simulated radar, I do see the heaviest rates overnight, if I'm not mistaken here. I I'm not sure, Drew. Might be a toss up there. It could be a equivalent rate across the board there. I don't really see much in the way of banding going on.
Using the NAM, right?
NAM 3, yeah. The ARRR is way north for some reason. I just threw that out. Like
Interesting.
it's accumulating snow up in Mackinac, that area, and that's just not being supported by anything right now. All right, let's see here. Husband is coming home from Virginia tomorrow. How are the roads going to be in the evening from Jackson to Flint? Jackson to Flint, I would definitely say may have slushy accumulation, but if you're taking the highways, I'm going to guess you should be okay. I don't expect it to accumulate much on pavement just because we had really warm temperatures today that warmed the ground temperatures up a little bit. So I expect most of the accumulation to be on grassy surfaces, but I'm not going to rule out having accumulation on snow or on roads as well. But I don't expect it to be that significant, if that makes sense. Pontiac, you guys are in that rain area. I don't expect much in the way of accumulation for you. Appreciate that sharing that, Sarah. Love to see our followers doing that for us. How much rain do we expect on the Friday storm? Let's go ahead and take back our precipitation accumulation.
I had that queued.
If you want to do it, go for it.
Yeah, so I was looking at the NAM NST when you posted that comment. It looks like for areas that are receiving rain, I don't think you guys will see more than 3/4 of an inch. There could be isolated spots in around Metro Detroit that could see maybe closer to 8/10, 9/10 of an inch. But again, for the most part, anywhere along and south of 96 down to the state line, you guys should probably be looking at anywhere between a half and 3/4 of an inch of rain tomorrow.
Oh, there you go. Joel's on his game today.
Thank you.
All right, let's see here. What time is the worst of the weather coming in for travel going 75 north? I would say, well, it depends on how far north you're going to go on 75. If you're in the Detroit area, you're going to be in rain. But if you get north of Detroit towards the Flint area, definitely be prepared for some snow. But I don't think it gets bad on highways. I think that it would get worse as you get toward the evening, 6, 7 o'clock in the evening as the sun goes down. We could see some snow start to stick on the roadways. Allegan looks like it's going to be snow or rain. Yeah, Allegan County, right there on that line there. I lean more toward rain though for you guys for sure. You guys are far enough south that I wouldn't expect it to be accumulating snow down there. Berrien County north to Grand Rapids. You guys are going to be in that rain area. Yeah, Sarah, this is going to be for Friday morning through Saturday afternoon. Then there's another system coming in for Sunday evening we're watching as well, but we're not going to get too specific with this until we get to tomorrow and get the system out of the way. And then we'll talk about potential other systems coming in. But I don't expect any impacts from the second system until like Sunday evening, I'd say.
Yeah, don't look at the 12Z GFS earlier today.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
You have to fill me in after the stream there, Joel.
Oh, it was putting down ungodly amounts of snow for the next couple of days, and I was like, ain't no way.
Yeah, the GFS has been highly inaccurate. I've just stopped looking at it almost altogether. So hopefully it stays that way.
Yeah.
We'll see. How's it looking? So I get to that. How's it looking north of 94? 94, if you are north of 94, it's going to be rain close to it. Actually, yeah, I think 96 is a better indicator. It depends on where you are north 94 because north 94 is in the rain area. But if you go past Lansing and the Grand Rapids, you guys are going to get in that snow area. So it just depends on where you mean north 94 there, Christine. Robert, right now the Aurora chances, flipping back over here to some of the data. We do have a sustained negative field right here with this BZ staying in the negative, and we're looking at the ovation circle right now. It's starting to build some strength. They're at 31 up here. We're seeing this start to climb. Once it gets closer to 80 plus, we'll be having a good chance at Aurora. So it's starting to build, and just stay tuned for the next hour or two, and just check our page for updates for the Aurora. We'll post if there's anything happening in the state. What about the morning commute around Lansing area? For tomorrow morning, just rain, if anything at all, for morning commute. Evening commute could be a little bit dicey, but I still think you're going to remain mainly rain there for you guys. Houghton Lake, you guys should be mainly dry, if not just a couple snow showers up there. You're kind of on that borderline between, you're mainly going to be dry, but you could see a few snowflakes for sure.
I think the NAM had them between a trace and 1.
Yeah. Anything north of this blue area on our map here could see some snow showers, but not expecting to accumulate much at all. The system is going to primarily impact central and southern parts of the state.
Yeah, I believe on Ryan's map, I think Houghton Lake's right by where the AC is in Cadillac.
Yeah, somewhere like right there.
Somewhere in there, yeah.
If not just a teeny tiny bit north, I want to say. All right, let's see here. How about the Allendale area? Allendale, would that be the Grand Rapids area, if I'm not mistaken? I'm trying to learn all these cities here. We'll double check that real quick. Yeah, Allendale, you guys are going to be right there on that rain snow line again, so it could go either way, but right now we are forecasting 1 to 3 for you guys, but don't be shocked if you see some rain cutting back on those totals. We are Port Austin. I think our chances are good to see here. Rachel, I believe I was talking to you earlier, if I'm not mistaken, on the other page. Port Austin right now, if we look on satellite, you guys do have some clouds up there. If you wait an hour or two, those might clear for you guys. But yeah, for right now, I'd say if this data is sustaining itself right now, so hopefully if it continues to sustain itself, Port Austin will have a chance to see it if it's clear. So cross your fingers. Let's see. Flash freeze a concern tomorrow night? I don't think it is, Joel.
Not really, no. It's gonna, well, let me look at the temperatures. I'm pretty sure it's just gonna be kind of hovering around freezing the entire day for most of the state, except for where you're in the rain. And then at night it's supposed to get down into it's gonna gradually just drop. Especially if we have a lot of clouds hanging around, that's gonna keep in on our solar radiation.
Right.
Our lovely neighbors are playing their music at a trillion volume right now.
I can hear it quietly in the background. I was wondering what that was.
It's horrible. Yeah, it's only supposed to get down to 30 if you live up towards where I'm at in Mount Pleasant.
It's crazy that some weather places are sharing headlines of ankle-deep snow tomorrow. The most I see happening is about 4 to 5 inches at most. I think most of you guys in that blue area will fall between 1 to 3. But again, not ruling out 4, maybe 5 in spots. But again, 1 to 3 is the going forecast there.
Curious to see what our PWAT values are. See how much moisture advection we have coming in.
This event will be winding down Saturday afternoon. We should be clear of snow and rain Saturday afternoon. But then we have a secondary system that could potentially impact us, but we're not going to get into details with that. That would be a little bit later on Sunday. How is Romulus looking? Rain. Unfortunately for you guys, rain. Maybe fortunately, depending on if you like snow or not. What time should you have to Port Austin? Well, Port Austin right now looks to be cloudy, but looks like if you go a little bit further east, I don't know, you guys, I don't want to tell people to drive further east, but you do have this cloud deck moving in here. I would expect active Aurora here, if this data does sustain, is actually getting a little bit better now. We're at negative 14, which is really good. The further into negatives that goes, the higher the chances for Aurora are here in Michigan. Another 60 to 90 minutes, I'd say, would have a good shot at seeing Aurora here in Michigan. So I'd head to your clear spots. Now, if you check your cloud cover map, which is right here, clouds across central part of the state, northern part of the state. It looks like areas north of Grand Rapids are currently clear. We have a clear slot down here by Detroit and Ann Arbor. So I don't expect this right now to be the entire state. I would expect this data would be north of Lansing, primarily up toward the Mount Pleasant areas. So um, about an hour, maybe 90 minutes away, I'd say get to your spots. And data is sustaining itself as well. So Oakland County in blue. You guys are actually in green, unfortunately. You guys can be rain. I keep saying unfortunately, but some people want rain, some people want snow. I'm talking in terms if you want snowfall. Unfortunately, you're in green. Timing and snow amounts in Flint, you guys are looking 1 to 3 possible, but you guys are in that rain snow line. You guys are actually underneath this line here. If you take your comment off the screen, Flint is actually where I'm circling right here. So you guys are basically right on that rain snow line. So it could go either way for you. Timing on this, I would say any accumulation would be Friday afternoon, evening, and overnight Friday. Want the snow. Hopefully it shifts further south. I don't see this shifting further south. The trends have been north and have not been south at all. So if anything, this trend's a little bit further north, I would assume. Will Lansing switch to snow? If so, when? Let's go back here to the precipitation type and go ahead and go hour by hour. So Lansing is in Ingham County, correct?
Yep.
Yep. So you guys, Friday afternoon, you guys are right there on that rain snow line. The snow, it tries to change over to snow for you right around 2 p.m. on Friday, but I'd say just afternoon in general, it would try to flip over to snow if it's going to.
It says 33 degrees at the surface for Lansing at 3 in the afternoon tomorrow.
Right, so it's so close.
For what it's worth, there's less warm air further up. So that means a lot more freezing happening closer to the surface. So I'm sure Lansing tomorrow will get some snow flurries, but I don't know if it's going to stick with the ground being at 33. Because that can be a case too where you have it's snowing all the way down to like mere feet above your head, and then the ground's warm.
No ice is expected, Sarah, for Livingston County. Is this going to kick up lake effect snow? No.
No, we have east winds tomorrow.
We need west or northwest winds for lake effect.
Yeah. Lake Michigan's still like 50 degrees. Of course, I'm sure Lake Huron's probably still warm, but
right.
Again, with how thin that band of precipitation is, you're not going to get much lake influence from Huron.
Love to see it. Husband got Michigan Storm Chaser shirt last week. It was like a kid on Christmas morning, by the way. Awesome. Love to hear it. How's the Aurora forecast looking at this time? Right now, for the entire state, I would say a little bit minimal for right now. I don't think we've been impacted by the big event that we were expecting tonight, but I do think we were expecting multiple energy or what we call CMEs to arrive. I think we had one arrive, but it's not the strong one that's going to cause Aurora the entire state. Looking at the data, though, it does appear to be pretty good, and it does appear to be sustaining itself for a bit of a long period of time here. So definitely not going to rule out reaching that point where we could see Aurora down to Lansing. But I don't think this is the big one. I think that's still out there, and we're waiting to be impacted by that. So we'll have to kind of wait and see. But again, we'll post updates to the page here and keep you guys updated on that. Hello, Peggy from Bay City. All right, let's see. Forecast for Alma. So Alma, you're going to be in that rain area. You're going to be 1 to 3, or not rain, snow. Sorry, you're going to be in the snow area. 1 to 3 inches of accumulation is possible for you guys.
Hey, Drew.
Drew and Joel are college meteorology buddies, correct?
Yep.
Also, Drew is also one of our partner chasers.
I hated physics. Physics is terrible.
Snowstorm for Montcalm County. Montcalm. I'm gonna learn how to say that correctly. I apologize to the people of Montcalm County.
It's like David Montgomery and then calm as in calm.
For some reason, just I want to call it Malcolm, like Malcolm in the middle.
Yeah.
I apologize. Rain snow mix for you guys up there. You're going to be in that snow area. If anything's going to mix in with rain, to be in the southern part of the county, but we do have you firmly within that snow area.
Montcalm County is Michigan's Oklahoma.
You're not wrong. You are not wrong. Right up here, it looks just like Oklahoma.
Yep.
All right, let's see. Any other questions, guys? No ice accumulation is expected, Ellen.
Yeah.
Kyle says, here in Portland, as expected, Mother Nature leaving me guessing what will happen. Yep. Fortunately, this rain snow line encompasses a large population. We're talking Grand Rapids, talking Flint, Lansing, up toward Port Huron. It's a pretty big population we're covering here with the rain snow line. So a lot of people will probably be upset that didn't go one way or the other they were hoping. So
I will say that on the NAM NST, that freezing rain accumulation, there's a tad bit, but again, it's that cutoff line is going to be so sharp, it's going to be hard to accumulate.
Yeah, I don't.
Anything more than like 0.05 inches, which is it's a little bit of ice, and it's really hinting on Clinton County specifically. So just north of Lansing, if you're going 127 near St. John's tomorrow, perhaps a little bit of freezing accumulation, but again, it's going to be either rain or either snow.
All right. Yeah, I don't expect it to accumulate much at all. Just given the ground temperatures today, I don't think we're going to see much in the way of impacts from that at all. Is Spring Lake, Ottawa County looking at snow? Let's see here. I got
that's right on the snow line.
I was trying to figure out where Spring Lake is exactly. It's right on the rain snow line there, so it could go either way for you guys. When will we see snow in Grand Rapids? I'd say by Friday afternoon, you guys should be getting some snow.
I would say I was going to say we could put out like a map asking or like highlighting like times for snow starting.
I can work on one here.
Yeah.
I do want to say it does appear that we have just been put under a G1 warning from the SWPC, which means the Aurora is active now north of Mount Pleasant. So if you guys are north of Mount Pleasant, I would start looking to your north. I believe that just got issued from the SWPC. All right. Karen, forecasting helped me determine not to travel back home until a couple of days ago. A little bit windy and blowing snow. Thankfully got through Ohio before accidents happen. It's a long comment. It doesn't even come up on the page.
Yeah, that's wow.
That's crazy, Karen. I can only see part of your comment there. I can't see the entire thing, but that's glad you're safe. Oakland County, snow. Excuse me. Saranac, you guys are going to be right in that rain snow line again. Could go either way for you guys. Drew, yes, I don't expect this to be an event that we see somebody get 8 inches of snow randomly. I don't expect that to happen. I think the very top you're going to see is maybe 5 or 6 inches. I think the majority of people will say between that 1 to 3 area, though.
It really just depends. It really just depends on how quickly that rain can come to our north.
Right. Northern Washtenaw County is in the rain. Yes, Alex, I will do that once I'm off this. And speaking of hopping off here, I should probably get going because I'm going to head north for the Aurora here, so I want to get out there. So I'm probably going to hop off here in a couple more minutes. Unless, Joel, you want to take over if you want to, or?
I mean, I don't know if there's gonna be any more questions. I mean, we've pretty much covered everything.
Yeah, I don't see much in the way of questions here. So
looking at, we keep going off the NAM NST, and it looks like that rain eventually crosses north of 96 by about 8 a.m., 7 a.m. tomorrow morning. So that's when you start seeing your snow for areas further north. And it looks like the snow continues through. I guess some spots could definitely see 4 to 6 inches tomorrow, isolated, very few spots, especially if the snow is modeled to last through about midnight tomorrow night. So it's a good 16 hours of snow. It depends on how heavy and how light it falls in certain locations.
all right, with that being said, I'm probably going to hop off here. So, Joel, do you want to stay on? Do you want to hop off?
I'll probably hop off too.
All right, guys. So with that being said, we're going to hop off here and we'll go live. I'll go live again tomorrow. If Joel, I don't know if you're going to be in college tomorrow or not, but you're welcome to join again tomorrow morning. I'll hop on here, give an update.
I got class at 9.
Ouch.
Yeah.
All right, so I'll be on. So I'll see you guys tomorrow morning for an update. And again, for those wanting the Aurora, watch the page. We'll be sharing information throughout the evening, so pay attention to that if you guys are interested. All right, guys. Thank you. Have a good night, and I'll see you guys later.
See y'all.